Here are the reasons you should move to Sandy Springs, Georgia, and more importantly, the reasons you shouldn't. I've been going through all the cities in North Metro Atlanta and giving you the good news and the bad news of living here. Today, we're talking about Sandy Springs. Sandy Springs is perhaps the first suburb of Atlanta, sitting right at 12 o'clock. In fact, because it crosses the I-285 perimeter, it has a unique mix of the urban and the suburban feel. If you're looking for a nice quiet neighborhood but still want a short drive into the big city, this is definitely where you go. Now, let's start with the pros of living here. Sandy Springs is a major employment hub in its own right. It's home to some of the largest companies in Georgia, including UPS, Cox Enterprises, NCR, Inspired Brands, and Newell Brands, just to name a few. These aren't just satellite offices. We're talking about national or even global headquarters with thousands of really good paying jobs in logistics, tech, finance, corporate operations. You've also got the Perimeter Center right next door, which is one of the biggest business districts in the entire Southeast, really. It's loaded with office space and employs tens of thousands of people. The medical sector is huge here as well, especially with the concentration of hospitals and health systems in a very small area. More on that in a bit. This means you can live, play, and work all in the same zip code, which, let's be honest, is a huge lifestyle win in Metro Atlanta, where commutes can easily hit an hour or more each way. If you work in corporate, healthcare, IT, or anything that plugs into a big organization, you've got a really good chance of finding a great role without having to leave the city. Sandy Springs is the first suburb as you move from inside the 285 perimeter to outside the 285 perimeter. So as far as proximity to Atlanta, this is as close as you're gonna get without living actually in Atlanta. That's gonna put you much closer to things like the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, the Botanical Gardens, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, CNN Center, Georgia Aquarium, Fox Theater, Centennial Olympic Park, College Football Hall of Fame, plus all of the amazing restaurants that Atlanta has to offer. Atlanta is a big city with big amenities. Some people want to be part of that. They want to be right in the middle of all of that. And as they should, because it's awesome. And you can use public transportation here. Sandy Springs is where the first MARTA stations are on the Red Line. You can easily jump down to Buckhead, Midtown, or right into the heart of Atlanta. Literally, no other suburb has this perk. And you also sit right along 285, which takes you really anywhere you need to go around the city and intersects all of the other major highways. Fair warning though, it is a traffic nightmare and they're adding toll lanes along that north corridor of 285, so it's gonna be even worse for the next couple of years, but maybe better after that? The Chattahoochee River is going to be Sandy Springs' northern border, and it's one of the things that gives the city a lot of its charm and feel. There are certain parks along the way where you can take in the views, and you can certainly find homes built along the river, but you can also get out and experience it. You've got multiple access points to the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area where you can hike, fish, kayak, or just hang out by the water. Places like Morgan Falls Overlook Park has great scenic views, covered picnic areas, walking trails, and there's a boat launch where you can rent kayaks or paddleboards. And if you want a more immersive nature experience, check out Island Ford, which has wooded trails running right along the river. Peaceful, beautiful, and it's a great reminder that you're really never too far from nature, even in Metro Atlanta, which is actually known as a city in the forest. Sandy Springs is a major healthcare powerhouse. The city has what's known as Pill Hill, where 3 of the state's top hospitals are located. Northside Hospital Atlanta, Emory St. Joseph's, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Scottish Rite. Northside Atlanta is a national leader in maternity and women's health, delivering more babies than any other hospital in the country. It's definitely known as the baby factory around here, and it's also where both of my girls were born and a lot of my friends' kids were born as well. And yes, you're going to pass 2 or 3 other hospitals to get there because this place knows baby delivery. If you need advanced heart care, cancer treatment, or orthopedic surgery, Emory St. Joseph's Hospital is literally a top choice. And if you have kids, Choa Scottish Rite provides some of the best pediatric care in the Southeast. If your kids have anything major going on, just go straight here. Whatever other place you end up taking them to, we'll probably just send them here anyway. My daughter, she had a fractured skull when she was 4. Very scary, long story. And the hospital we were at ended up putting her in an ambulance and sending her over to Scottish Rite just to be safe. Sandy Springs is pretty much the go-to spot for top-notch healthcare in Georgia. If something serious happens, chances are you're gonna end up at one of these places anyway, so you might as well just live here. City Springs is the downtown area of Sandy Springs, but it's not your typical old town square with brick sidewalks and historic storefronts. This is a newer master plan space that was designed from the ground up to be the city's center of gravity, and it works pretty well. You've got restaurants, green space, shopping, the city government buildings are here, and the crown jewel, the Performing Arts Center. Now, the Sandy Springs Performing Arts Center is very legit. It's modern, it's beautiful, it brings in everything from orchestras to comedians to ballet to local school performances. The main theater, the Byers Theater, seats just over 1,000 people, and there's really not a bad seat in there. If you're looking for a show and you don't want to go all the way down into Atlanta, this is a great option. There's also a big lawn space where they do all sorts of community events, outdoor concerts, movie nights, fitness classes, seasonal festivals. The farmers market here on Saturdays is one of the best in the area with local produce, baked goods, homemade stuff, you know the drill. And during the holidays, they go all out with the lights, the trees, the decorations, super pretty. It's not wild or nightlife heavy, it's more family forward and community focused. If you're into quiet events, outdoor spaces, walkable areas with a little bit of culture, you're gonna spend a lot of time here. Hey, and if you need help dialing in the best area for you, go ahead and reach out to me. My name is Joel. I'm a local realtor here in the metro Atlanta area. My information is below. You're also gonna see it right here at the bottom of the screen. I help clients relocate here all the time. Call, text, or email. I'll be able to help you figure out which area or areas are gonna work best for you. Always happy just to answer questions or have a conversation. Sandy Springs is a very mixed bag when it comes to housing. Whereas most of the suburbs in North Georgia are dominated by single-family detached housing, Sandy Springs is more diverse with more townhomes and even more condos. Second is that the supply in Sandy Springs has not yet recovered. Most of the cities had a big inventory uptick in 2023 and 2024, but Sandy Springs did not. There are only 97 total homes currently available compared to Roswell's 251 and Alpharetta's 473. Now, of those 97 available homes, 53 are attached and only 44 are detached, so certainly more favored in attached housing. Then let's break those numbers down just a bit further. Of the attached housing, only 16 will be townhomes and 37 will be condos, with options from something around $200,000 up to a new construction penthouse for just over $2 million. If you're looking to buy a condo, reach out. There's a lot of information that you need to know first. For detached housing, there just isn't a lot of options, with only 44 currently on the market. And of those 44, 37 of them are over $1 million in price. But let me tell you, the neighborhoods are gorgeous. The housing is unique but not weird, and you can't beat the location. Currently, median home price is $770,000 in Sandy Springs, but that's really because there are so many condos under 300 that are pulling that average down, actually. If you just looked at detached housing, then median home price is somewhere between $800 and $950. Because there are so few home sales there every month, the numbers actually fluctuate pretty wildly. Obligatory disclaimer that my code of ethics impedes me from speaking about safety as my own opinion. There's a long history of malpractice with realtors in this area. If you do get robbed, do not sue me because I said something was safe or not safe. But what I will do is cite data from third-party sources. So let's see what Neighborhood Scout has to say about Sandy Springs. The crime rate in Sandy Springs is considerably higher than the national average across all communities in America, from the largest to the smallest. Although at 19 crimes per 1,000 residents, it is not among the communities with the very highest crime rate. The chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Sandy Springs is 1 in 52. Based on FBI crime data, Sandy Springs is not one of the safest communities in America. Relative to Georgia, Sandy Springs has a crime rate that is higher than 69% of the states and towns of all sizes. However, compared to other communities of similar population size, Sandy Springs has a crime rate that is noticeably lower than the average. This means that for comparably sized cities all across America, Sandy Springs is actually safer than most, according to Neighborhood Scout's exclusive analysis of FBI crime data. So, meh. Not that bad. And looking at the map, it looks like the closer you get to the Chattahoochee River, the safer the area becomes. Traffic can be a daily headache in Sandy Springs. You're dealing with two of the busiest roads in Metro Atlanta, Georgia 400 and I-285, and they both run right through the city. There are constant construction projects going on, including the new toll lanes going up along 285, which will take years to complete. Even local roads can get backed up, especially during rush hour or lunch, where folks from Perimeter Center are on the move. And since this area wasn't originally designed for the population and business density it now supports, there just isn't quite enough infrastructure to go around. If walkability is important to you, or you're someone who just hates sitting in traffic, this might not be the place for you. School systems in Georgia are going to be divided by the county lines. Sandy Springs is going to be in the Fulton County school system, coming in at number 12 best school system around Atlanta, according to niche.com. Fulton County is a very weird shape though, and there's a difference between the north section and the south section. North Fulton County has a shape that you might expect, and in that northern bubble are some of the best schools in the entire state. On the south side, things change, which you can see reflected on this map right here. Schools in Sandy Springs will be North Springs High School and Riverwood International Charter School. I'm pulling data from niche.com and greatschools.org. From niche.com, we're looking at the letter grade, and from greatschools.org, we're looking at the rating out of 10. North Springs High is further north in the city. This used to be a charter school until 2022. It gets an A- on niche.com and a 5 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Riverwood International Charter gets an A on niche.com and a 7 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Now these are pretty good numbers, although certainly not the highest in the county. If you're looking for schools with some better ratings, I would look a little bit further north. Now, if this sounds like something that you're looking for, give me a call. Let's get the relocation process started. If you're looking for something different, or you just want to explore other options, check out this playlist right over here. I've got vlogs, map tours, guides, so you can learn more about all of these different areas around Atlanta. Or even better, give me a call. We can chat about it directly. I'll see you in the next one.